So Dark and Darker just received some absolutely devastating news, and we're going to go through all the details surrounding that, as well as some other notable things that we can talk about, but we'll try to make sure to get all the details out there for you. What's up world, this is Toby here, back in with another video, and today we're checking out all things Dark and Darker, and yeah, this game hits very close to home because I was actually very much enjoying it. I played in multiple playtests, and it's probably one of the most inspired games I've played as of recently, at least as far as art direction and gameplay style, and just making a stance against pay to win. It has been kind of the gleaming light in all of this darkness, not to put pun on the game, but really gaming as a whole since about 2019 has really just been terrible in every aspect until about this year has it really started to pick up finally again. But let's just get onto the details surrounding this matter and everything going on. Okay, so I'm going to try to bring everybody up to speed as there was a lot of things going on in the background and not everybody knows about it. And again, I want to first preface that these are all allegations and nothing is confirmed yet or being proven. But anyways, this kicked off in around February, and what ended up happening was a game company called Nexon, who is typically a publisher for a lot of games, in fact they even help publish the finals, was working on a project called P3. And at the time it was a team of 18 people, and they said it was like Escape from Tarkov, but with medieval weapons and magic. And this all originated in Korea, as both of these companies are in Korea, Iron Mace and Nexon included. And this stemmed from remote work. Essentially, the team was working from remote because of all the recent things going on, and they were allowed to use something called a Git server, or a private Git server. And again, this is an allegation, but they claim that the director for the P3 project suddenly started holding private interviews with team members, insisting that he secured external funding and they should quit Nexon to continue at a different company. And the reason being is because Nexon is a very pay-to-win company. They are very egregious when it comes to that matter. In fact, I was very concerned for the finals and its futures on that point. And so it is understandable from a passionate gamer to not include pay-to-win aspects that can really give a player advantage, especially in a PvP scenario. These things do not bode well with Western audiences. At least they typically haven't. So then the director allegedly leaked internal assets through a private server that they were using, that private Git server that I told you about. In the private meetings that he had with people, he was trying to get them to quit, and most of the team refused this request at first. However, 7 people did end up quitting Nexon and followed soon after. 3 out of the 7 who quit were programmers, and the original team had 4 programmers, so 75% of their programmers for their project, which was called P3 at the time, were gone. And this game project simply could not continue afterward, and that was what the director, or allegedly the director, was saying to his employees, is that this game is not going to be ever made, and that the team was eventually going to be falling apart, at least through Nexon, not when they went on their own, of course. A few months later, Dark and Darker is revealed. The game was developed by Iron Mace, whose CEO is the former lead designer of P3, which was at Nexon. Now, Nexon then goes ahead and sues the director for leaking, quote-unquote, the project, and the police investigation is still ongoing there. And now also some of the former P3 members at Nexon are insisting that their work was stolen and that the director is the one who destroyed the team's project for personal reasons. However, if these personal reasons are pay to win, I completely stand with the man. I absolutely hate pay to win, and I cannot take it anymore in this industry. It has been the biggest gripe with the industry so far. All the pay to win mechanics, all the pay to win things, pay for this, pay for that. Man, if we knew Oblivion Horus Armor was going to come to this point, we would have taken that down early. But anyways, we'll move on with the story. And to clarify, they did say that no assets were directly copied. However, they insist that all the game design decision choices, class types, combat style, how the box opens, torch usage, lighting, item usage, layout are completely identical to what they were creating over at Nexon. And they said the most notable one is the level design. Then this all leads up to March 8th, where Dark and Darker Studio actually gets raided by the police. And right afterward, Dark and Darker Studio put out a statement to not trust everything on the internet, and here's a message from our devs about the Nexon drama. Grayson from Discord said, "Don't worry too much what you hear regarding Nexon. Most of what you see on the internet is not accurate. There will be no delay in development, and there is nothing to worry about." However, they still plan to do the playtest on April 14th to 19th, and this was the 5th and presumably final playtest that would run before launch. or at least early access, which was set to come out sometime soon here. And this left fans very shaken and very worried that the game was never going to come out because there was all this drama around it and now a police raid, which does kind of give some credibility to the allegations, although not all of it. It's more so that they just have some kind of ground and basis to go off of that would actually lead them to want to police investigate. Now let's think about it. The police probably really don't know what's going on. They don't know about stolen code or anything like that. So in this court case, this will be a really crazy decision, as a lot of times, in fact, I'm not even very programming efficient, so knowing that a court is going to have some sort of programming application there where they have to kind of delve into that, it's going to be quite interesting. However, that is not the gist and not the end of this tale, as now Dark and Darker just got removed from the Steam store, and as they were served a cease and desist letter from Nexon themselves. And they put out a statement here after the removal of the Steam store to all of our fans. We recently have been served a cease and desist letter and the DMC takedown by Nexon regarding Dark and Darker based on distorted claims. We are currently working with our legal team to remedy this issue in the best possible manner. Due to the sensitivity of the legal nature of this issue, we must be careful with our statements so as to not jeopardize our position. We will ask for your understanding as we work to get the game back up quickly as possible. Please know that we will do all that is possible for our fans. Thanks. And this is very, very devastating news. A lot of people are saying the police raid aged like milk, and especially the statements around it saying not to worry. And especially the playtest here is in 3 weeks. They had everything removed, including their trailers, their store, their trademark, all the Steam icons, all the Steam database files have completely eradicated and disappeared, as this is a very serious matter, especially with a cease and desist. Now, it really just means, again, that they have some confounding evidence, possibly, and that they kind of want to adjust things until a court case is settled or at least figured out. And again, this all stemmed from Nexon possibly being, and they really are, pay to win. They are a pay to win company. They're a very greedy company in that aspect, which is very unfortunate, as in my opinion, that really puts a stint on gaming overall, especially the pay to win stuff. I definitely still stand with Iron Mace because pay to win is a detrimental cause on gaming, and it's very sad to see that such a great game was going to be thrown into the pay to win aspect and pay to win sphere. That would absolutely destroy that game and completely ruin its integrity. So seeing this developer and all these things get kind of thrown their way, I really hope that Iron Mace has some good lawyers. And also, Nexon is worth over $700 million, which of course came from the pay-to-win greed stuff, so they can just easily kind of topple this game as far as keeping them in court for many, many years. And the best we can hope for is either a settlement or it gets completely declared that they did not take any code at all. Overall, it's just incredibly devastating news, as I was very passionate about this game. I really did like this game a lot, and I was really hoping good things for it. And it's kind of sad to see this all go down, especially from a company like Nexon. But that does about cover for this video, and I am curious, honestly, how you guys feel about all this and how this news has been breaking to you, because it has been kind of devastating for me. I really was enjoying that game, and I was having really high hopes for it. And if you liked the video, on the premise of that I presented the information correctly, because I'm sure you don't like this video coming out in general, I'd like a like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.